What up, everyone? Welcome to Angela Avalon's YouTube channel. I'm Angela. Subscribe, hit the like button, and do leave your feedback at the end of the video. So please do watch until the end of the video. So, in this video, I'm going to be talking about the dark side of Gemini energy. Basically, the dark side of every personal planet in Gemini, which goes for Sun, Moon, Venus, and Mars. Not Mercury, because Mercury is really the only planet that, because Mercury rules Gemini, Mercury is the only planet that Gemini does well in. So apart from Mercury, every other personal planet in Gemini, I'm going to talk about the dark side, the darkness that comes with that, the ugly side, that's really what I mean, the ugly side that comes with that. And yeah, so, with all that being said, Gemini is very interesting. It's a very interesting sign because Gemini, it's the symbol, the symbol of Gemini is the twins, the twins with the two heads and bodies together, almost like united, you know what I mean? If the symbol of Pisces is the two fish who swim to other directions, Gemini is the symbol of Gemini would be the twins with the two faces, hence why Gemini are so well known for being two-faced. So, as a female with a moon in Gemini, I personally know this energy very well, and I know exactly how the dark side and the ugliness of the Gemini energy manifests, okay? How it actually manifests in reality. And so when it comes to Gemini, what you gotta realize is that they can't really control much that's coming out of their mouth sometimes. And what do I mean by that? Like, the reason that they have such a big mouth is because when they have a thought in their head, they just say it, okay? It's more true for Sun and Moon and Mars in Gemini. However, Venus and Gemini are also very notorious for that. They actually similar to Aries in the way that they just have no filter and they just say whatever comes into their head. Which sometimes can be very inappropriate, right? Very, rude or unkind, mean-spirited. But the thing is, also the tendencies, the thing is also the tendency to talk about people and gossip, right? Gemini are notorious for gossiping a lot about people, behind their back especially, because, and the reason they do it is because, Gemini, they're very they're very they just the reason why they gossip and talk about people a lot is because they're very reactive, okay? It's a lot of mental energy when it comes to Gemini and when it comes to personal planets in Gemini, especially the sun and moon, and Mars. It's a lot of mental energy. It's a lot of they talk about people for really two reasons. One is because they're very reactive and they have this constant urge to talk, and they they speak with a lot of people. That's why, because they talk to a lot of people, and they're very reactive. They need to talk about people, but also because they find people very interesting in general. Like there's especially moon in Gemini. It's a very good placement for a psychologist, for a psychoanalyst. That's why you will find a lot of therapists with the moon in Gemini or Mars in Gemini, or both. A lot of people have both moon and Mars in Gemini, and they have that moon-Mars conjunction going on. Or people have Sun and Venus in Gemini, and but even if it's just one of them, even if just a Sun sign Gemini or a Moon or Mars in Gemini, Venus in Gemini, it can be very unfortunate, I'm not going to lie, because if they have, okay, so for example, I'm gonna use my real life experience. My boss actually has Sun and Venus in Gemini, and the thing is, when it comes to Gemini energy, if you have a personal planet like in a sign like Virgo on top of that, it's gonna make for someone who is very, very unpleasant and difficult to deal with, okay? Because when you put such critical energy like Virgo and you mix it with Gemini, it creates for a very insufferable individual. Okay, and my boss, he's a sun sign Gemini with Venus in Gemini and Moon in Virgo. And I believe that's the core reason why everybody why nobody at work likes him and finds him absolutely insufferable. Because he talks, first of all, the way he allows himself to talk about people, that Moon and Virgo, like to critique. I'm gonna make a separate video about the Moon and Virgo placement, but yeah, they like to critique. But the thing is, because of his double Gemini, he has Sun and Venus in Gemini, and he, his urge to talk about people and talk smack about people behind their back and the thing is, because it's my boss I'm talking about, it's a workplace, he'll talk smack about his own employees. So he's not just gonna talk smack about people, but the people that he's talking smack about are his own employees. And essentially that's why nobody can stand them, because it's just so mean-spirited. He will call his own employees stupid, trash, damn, retarded. He will just name call his own employees, behind their back, in front of their face. And it's just very, very overall a very unpleasant energy, okay? Just an overwhelming, unpleasant energy with a sun sign and Venus in Gemini. And you put Virgo again, yes, Moon in Virgo. I'm telling you, Virgo and Gemini, even though they are both ruled by Mercury, you would think that they would go along with each other, but they don't. It actually makes all the negative traits of Gemini would be 10 times worse if you have a personal planet in Virgo, like the moon, especially the moon in Virgo. It will make an individual with Gemini energy in their chart insufferable. I'm telling you. Do not ever think that just because they're ruled by the same planet, that Virgo and Gemini in the same chart will go along. They won't. So yeah, and it's very unfortunate because I do not like, and the thing is, it's very unfortunate because Geminis, they're very intelligent, very smart, but because of their gossipy, changeable nature, it just makes it very unfortunate, because Geminis are also very changeable, Geminis, they change their mind a lot. They go back and forth. It's yes and no. They twist and turn and go back and forth again and again, you know. Very changeable. And actually, about a month ago, I ended a friendship with a woman, with a young woman who had a stellium in Gemini, and I believe that I ended my friendship with her because of her heavy Gemini energy. I'm telling you, the dark side of a Gemini dominant female is insufferable. Because the problem is that these people, they don't take anything seriously at all. And the reason why they have such a bad reputation is because they don't take people or friendships seriously at all. That's why they end up hurting them, those they like, those they love the most, or ruining friendships, you know. Yeah, they're very flaky. I'm sorry to say, but people with heavy Gemini energy, very flaky people. Do not think, these people do not have a problem to turn on you in the blink of an eye. You think Aquarius and Aries are notorious for that, and yes they are, but nowhere near as Geminis, because Aries, like Aquarius, they will go, they will end a friendship and then go back to it, but that's a different story when it comes to Aries and Aquarius. It's because they're very individualistic. They're very individuals. It's because they have a strong sense of individualism. But with Gemini, it's because you never meant to them that much anyways. It can be it's very heartless energy. I'm sorry, but so sorry to say, but Gemini energy, very heartless energy, okay? Very heartless energy, and like I said, it's unfortunate because these Geminis are fun, they're fun, they're intelligent, they're funny, but they can be so tremendously heartless that people will just not bother. And I will tell you right now, if you deal with a person with a heavy Gemini energy, I'm telling you right now, just don't even waste your time, don't bother, because these people will have no problem to drop you and let you go. Okay, these people, it's only a matter of time before they will let you go. Okay, they will let you go 1,000%. Okay, they do not have a problem to do that. Okay, yeah. And overall, I'm so sorry if this video is disappointing and hard to hear, but it is the truth. Okay, and even this young woman that I mentioned, I ended the friendship with her because we were talking literally all days, all night for a period of time, and then all of a sudden she stopped texting me, right? And she was like off her social media, right? And after a while I was worried that something happened to her, because it was so unlike her, because she would always respond, and she would always be very engaged, so it was very unusual of her. And basically after 2 weeks or more, after 3 weeks, after 2-3 weeks, she texted me that she just ghosted me because she didn't feel like talking and that she missed me. And I'm not gonna lie, as a moon opposition Pluto person, I have a moon Pluto hard aspect in my natal chart, so I don't really do emotional betrayal and playing games like that, so I ended the friendship with her, okay? But these people will do it. Geminis will do it. You would think that everything was going all right, and then all of a sudden they will ghost you. It's almost like they have no problem. They might even do. These are the kinds of people that will do well. They will have no problem to move on no matter what happened to you. I'm so sorry to say, like I said, heartless energy, okay? Gemini people, heartless energy. Okay, and as a moon in Gemini female, time and time again, I always say this, and I even mentioned that in my Mars in Gemini video that I made, that I'm so grateful that my moon sign is the only personal planet in Gemini, and that I don't have my Mars or Venus in Gemini, because that would make me just as insufferable as these people are, as these people can be. Okay, so yeah. And I will make a separate video about Venus in Gemini and a sun sign in Gemini. But yeah. So yeah, so with all that being said, I'm so sorry if this video was disappointing, but it is the truth. And one more thing, it's going to be the last thing I'm going to say in this video before I end it, because I'm sure a lot of you clicked on this video to know exactly that. So I'm gonna say it. So Gemini, especially people with heavy Gemini energy, especially if it's a heterosexual male or a male in general, heavy Gemini dominated men, they're not loyal, okay? I'm so sorry to say, but they're not loyal. They're not loyal because they, like Gemini energy, they like to flirt a lot, okay? Gemini, especially a guy with the Venus in Gemini, or a sun sign or a sun or moon in Gemini, you know, Mars, moon, sun, Venus in Gemini, man likes to flirt with everyone, okay? Especially if it's heterosexual, he'll be the kind of guy to flirt with every woman he sees or deems as attractive, or even, you know what, scratch that, even if he finds a woman unattractive, he will still flirt with her. Trust me, I have seen that happen in my own eyes, okay? Believe me. And the thing, you know what the thing is though, these guys will flirt with literally every woman they see, yet they will deny that they flirt. You know, these guys they're not to be trusted. I'm so sorry. You know, if you're involved with a guy with heavy energy, Gemini energy, and you're in love with him, and you're, you know, a woman watching this video, I'm so sorry. But yeah, this is just my life experience. They are not loyal, and even if they don't actually end up cheating on you, like sleeping with another woman, even if that man is not going to sleep with another woman, he's gonna be he's gonna be the type of man to emotionally cheat on you, okay? He'll flirt with other women, maybe he'll text other woman, and he'll convince himself that he's not cheating because he doesn't actually, you know, does the deed with them. I'm so sorry to say, Gemini energy is not loyal, especially if it's a guy. A guy with a sun in Gemini, Venus in Gemini, Mars in Gemini, Moon in Gemini, but especially Mars, Sun, or Venus, you know, especially those planets in Gemini, yeah, it's not a loyal energy. So sorry. Yeah, they're not, because they just like to flirt, okay? They flirt a lot, and trust me, I'm a woman with a moon in Gemini myself, and I'm not going to lie, I do like to flirt, even though my flirting is like a part of my, like, you know, making jokes. I like to joke, and I like, you know, it's not that I'm trying to like flirt with every guy, but I just like to be very lighthearted. But I'm not going to lie, it comes off as flirting. But the thing, and I do flirt, I'm not trying to deny it, but the thing is, once I'm gonna be with, I'm also like, the thing is, I'm also single, and I'm never gonna do that when I'm gonna be involved with a man. But the thing is, all the females, because it has been seen that all the females with heavy Gemini energy, they'll flirt even though they're already involved with someone in the committed relationship. I just happen not to be like that because I'm a bit more traditional. So once I'm gonna be like with a man, I'm only gonna have eyes for him, and even then, like, I'm, you know, don't go around. I'm just like to be, you know, just like to be funny and jokes, and all of my, you know, a lot of my joking around tends to come off as flirting. But yet again, like, you know, like I said, I'm not really involved with anyone, so even if I was flirting, there would be nothing wrong with it, because I'm, yeah. But yeah, so there's that, okay? Again, I'm so sorry if that's disappointing, but it is the truth. And that's the dark side of Geminis, okay? So yeah, so please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and leave your comment down below in the comment section. Let me know if that resonated with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.